Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today, the final game of the homestand matches the Astros with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Good afternoon, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. The Astros have never swept the Diamondbacks in a three-game series here at Houston. They can do that today. They can also get back to 500, and they're only one game behind the Cubs right now, JD.
Well, they won the series against the Marlins. Now a chance to sweep this series against the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks a little undermanned right now. Stephen Drew not in the lineup. Mark Reynolds has the day off. The D-backs have dropped 7 in a row. They're having a hard time scoring runs. The pitching today, Big John Garland goes to the hill for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Struggling this year, 6-11 record, relatively high ERA. A lot of rumors about Garland possibly being traded. He gives you a lot of different looks: fastball, curve, slider, cut fastball, straight changeup. Very successful career in the American League. Has struggled this year. Bud Norris, the youngster, takes the hill for the Astros. Last couple of times out, struggled a little bit, but that was against that Florida Marlin team that was red hot. Hopefully he can get things headed in the right direction against the D-backs here this afternoon.
During the Astros' 4-game winning streak, their pitching has led the way. They're trying for their first 5-game streak of the season, playing well defensively to support the pitching staff, and they hope for timely hitting again today as they meet the Diamondbacks in just a moment. Coming into Minute Maid Park on a cloudy day outside. Hopefully we'll get some rain later on. Inside, it's Bud Norris warming up with a 3-1 record to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Starting lineup brought to you by AT&T of Trent Olchin in center field. Then it's Ryan Roberts at second base. Chad Tracy plays third. And the normal third baseman, Mark Reynolds, has the flu. That's why he's not in the lineup. Miguel Montero is the catcher, batting fourth. It's Brandon Allen, the youngster from Conroe, at first base, playing his second major league game. Gerardo Parra in left field. Alex Romero in right field. Augie Ojeda, the shortstop. John Garland, the pitcher.
A lot of left-handed bats for Bud Norris to contend with today, but so far that has not been an issue. They're hitting just 159 against him. 5 games, 4 starts for the rookie. 3-1, 4.05 ERA. That's 2 times against the Marlins. They hit him around a little bit. He got a win and a loss.
Before the game, Carlos Lee was warming up in the outfield. The group started singing the national anthem, and he joined in.
That is beautiful.
That's the way the day started for El Caballo. Shine right in.
Well done.
He went out to warm up. Now we get started with Trent Olchen, the center fielder today. A .268 hitter with 3 homers, 4 runs batted in.
Well, he figured he had the right color on, so he might as well join him.
Blended right in. Sound as well, probably. Ball 1 for Bud Norris. Olchen 1 for 5 in this series. .268, 3 homers, 4 runs batted in. He's fallen into a 3 for 32 stretch over his last 9 games. A very fine first few games in the big leagues. Angel Hernandez is the home plate umpire. He rings up a strike. Olchen has already had a 4-hit game against the Mets August 11th. His debut, he had a single homer and 2 steals. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. The Diamondbacks, with 7 straight losses, are 0-6 on this 10-game road trip. During those 6 games, they have scored only 11 runs while hitting 190.
Not a whole lot of punch in this attack to begin with, and with Stephen Drew out of town and Mark Reynolds out of the lineup, an even lighter lineup for A.J. Hinch out there this afternoon. But and the big league hitters, you never know.
Broken bat. Rolls out to second. Matsuda, the quick flip. Over to Berkman, 1 out. And the bat went flying well beyond where Berkman was. Lots of activity on the right side of the infield for out number 1 in the game.
Bud has a plus fastball, and this time he's able to get it in on Olchen. And just saw that bat off in his hands. 94 miles an hour on the knuckles.
That's 1 out for Bud Norris, and a good way to start the game by breaking a bat. Now Ryan Roberts, .278, 5 homers, 14 runs batted in. On second base today. Looks at strike 1 from Norris. Norris is 1-1 here in his home ballpark. Roberts had a couple of hits last night. He's 2 for 8 in the series. No balls, 2 strikes to the UT Arlington man, who was a kinesiology major, a teammate of Hunter Pence. Ryan turns 29 in another month or so. Held off the mask of Quintero. Dropped the bat. Few back behind the dish after 2 well-caught games by Chris Coast. Quintero caught 2 games in a row before that, and Cecil Cooper says he'll probably continue to use the catchers in that way. He likes the Quintero-Wandy Rodriguez pairing. Smack to the left of Tejada into left center field. Looks like extra bases, and Roberts goes into second with a double. He hit the 0-2 pitch very hard for a double number 14 of the season.
Ryan Roberts with a couple of base hits in last night's ball game. The Diamondbacks have not, as Brownie mentioned, done much offensively in this series in the last week or so, as a matter of fact. But that pitch up, and he got a pretty good whack on it.
Now it's Chad Tracy with a runner at second and 1 out. Tracy .239, 6 homers, 34 driven in. There's an inside strike for Bud Norris. Tracy went 1 for 4 in the opener of this series. That was Friday night as the first baseman. He was 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter last night. Well, it's just missed. That pitch had pretty good movement. An off-speed pitch that takes it to 1-1.
Fastball, slider, changeup for Bud Norris, and the changeup has been a pretty good pitch for him against the left-handed hitters.
2-1 for Bud. Tracy now has hit in 7 of his last 10 games, hitting .333.
Shooting for the corner there with the changeup and then the fastball. If you can't get that borderline pitch called, then you have to set your sights, be a little bit more aggressive, catch more of the plate, and then it becomes imperative to make sure you get the ball down. You be over the plate a little bit more. You can't afford to be up thigh high. That's the happy zone for the hitter.
Now Norris comes in, and that evens the count at 2-2 with Miguel Montero on deck.
Well, obviously, Bud's first ever start against the Diamondbacks. But I imagine some of these younger hitters have probably faced him in the minor leagues. Tracy not likely, but with so many young guys in their lineup, they probably have a little bit of a book on Bud Norris.
Fouled away. Norris extremely impressive in that first major league win at St. Louis, August 2nd, 7 innings, a 2-hit shutout ball, beating Adam Wainwright 2-0. Last time out brought his first loss. He gave up 9 hits and 5 runs in 5 2/3 against Ricky Velasco. He allowed a couple of home runs to Ugla and Cantu in that last game. Out into left field. Stop sign at third from Chip Hale for Roberts on a single by Tracy, and it's first and third for Montero with 1 out.
But able to get his slider in the strike zone a couple of times against Tracy. Went back to it there, and he just fought it off, flipped it into left field. The Diamondbacks started the game last night with 3 consecutive singles, put a 2-spot on the board early. That's all they got as Brian Moeller shut the door, and then the bullpen came in behind him and pitched very well.
Miguel Montero has been doing a very nice job with the bat. Been doing most of the catching lately. .293, 12 homers, 43 runs batted in. 1 hit in this series and 6 at bats for Montero. There's strike 1 to him. He started Friday night. Snyder was the starter behind the dish last night, but Montero entered the game and he went 1 for 2. In fact, he made one of the key outs in the 6th inning with the bases loaded, coming in to pinch hit for Rusty Ryle. Bouncing into a force play with Tim Burdack getting out of trouble. Throw to first, the runner back.
Humberto Quintero called that pitch. He wanted a high fastball, and I think the only reason he called it was because he wanted to take that shot at Tracy down there at first base. Likes to sneak behind the left-handed hitter. He knew if he got the high fastball, the hitter wouldn't offer.
22 to Montero. Since June 17th, he has the best slugging percentage among all big league catchers, .568. He's tied for first in runs batted in with 36. Diamondbacks' 7-game losing streak is their longest since the '06 season. Out into left field, shallow. That's a hit in front of Carlos Lee, and it's 1-0. RBI single for Montero, his 44th run batted in.
Roberts' ball was sharply hit. The other two not exactly tearing the cover off the ball, but a good start for the D-backs here this afternoon. Like last night's game, they draw first blood. Carlos plays a very deep left field. He's able to make plays off the wall and out near the wall because of it, but he does have some of these flares fall in front.
Now Conroe native Brandon Allen, who made his major league debut last night and got a hit, pulls that one foul, strike 1. Allen 1 for 4 in last night's game. First major league game he saw was at the Astrodome. Brandon, 23 years old, obtained in a trade from the White Sox for Tony Pena July 7th. The initial plan was to keep him at AAA Reno and make him a September call-up. But the Diamondbacks decided when he continued to hit at Reno, because of their lack of production at first base, to give him a shot here in August.
Yeah, their production at first base worse than all of Major League Baseball. He's got tremendous power. Was putting up very good numbers down in Reno.
.324 batting average, 12 homers, 32 runs batted in 38 games. 1 and 2. Darren Sutton, who's next door doing television for the Diamondbacks, said he got a chance to meet Brandon's parents last night after the game. They said, well, we had a problem with him sometimes on Sunday when we were going to church. He would typically just pick up his glove everywhere he went, take it with him. Sometimes he took that instead of his Bible. Strikeout for Bud Norris, 2 down. Very nice, polite young man, Brandon Allen.
Just a great pitch there. Inside fastball up a little bit. A lot of left-handed sluggers have a hole there, and maybe Brandon Allen does too. Good heater by Norris.
He was. And now, like Brian Moeller last night, he's looking for a first-inning turnaround. With Gerardo Parra batting .283, 5 homers, 45 runs batted in for Parra. Parra looks at strike one. Parra last night batted third. He went 1 for 4 with an RBI. And last night with Brian Moeller on the mound, the Diamondbacks came out with 3 consecutive singles. They took a 2-0 lead. And then Moeller got tough. He got Reynolds on a force play with a run scoring and got Allen on a double play. After that, no more runs scored in the game as the Astros won it 4-2. 1 ball, 1 strike. Astros starting pitchers 3-0 in the last 4 starts with a 1.42 ERA. Moeller really had that nice turnaround after those 3 hits in the first. And now this one gets off the mid of Quintero, allowing the runners to advance to second and third. Probably would be a pass ball. 2 outs, the runners move up a base.
Well, hopefully Bud can pitch around that base hit. Likely scores 2 now.
Fastball for Quintero. 2-1 to count to Parra. 3 balls and a strike with Romero on deck.
And Bud working hard here. 27 pitches made already.
Parra's 1 for his last 16. He takes a walk to load the sacks for Romero now. Norris has walked 13 in 27 innings. Dewey Robinson heads for the hill.
Dewey, man, he has logged a lot of miles this year. I wonder what the club record for pitching coach visits to the mound is.
He's got to be pushing it. So now this bases loaded dilemma facing this duo of Norris and Quintero. And after some counseling, they'll go after Romero. Romero has a 4-game hitting streak, 4 for 14. 273 for Alex with 12 runs batted in. One hit in each of the first 2 games of this series, 2 for 7 from the native of Maracaibo, Venezuela. That's strike 1 to Romero. Tracy at third, Montero at second, and Parra at first base. D-backs are hitting .227 with the bases loaded as a team this season. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count.
They're having a hard time staying back. Pitchers talk about, excuse me, loading up on the backside and staying tall over the rubber. He's right now having a tendency to drift towards home plate. And when that happens, you tend to leave the ball up.
1 and 2. Romero has not walked very much in the major leagues. Last year he had 3 walks and 135 at bats.
Well, their whole club doesn't walk much.
tight as 2-2.
Hit for power, and mostly because of Reynolds, and some of the power hitters are now out of the lineup. Upton is down on a rehab assignment. Chris Young, who has power, wasn't doing much this year, hitting below 200. He's been sent to the minor leagues. So been kind of a line change. The Diamondbacks sending out some of the players they were counting on and calling up a bunch of youngsters.
Now full count.
Stay back a little longer, get on top, and not try to throw that ball 140 miles an hour. That time it was a changeup, though. It's a little out of whack with mechanics.
Big pitch coming here from Bud Norris. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 3-2, 1 run home.
He's been pretty effective with that inner half fastball. And I'm thinking Romero's probably looking to protect the outside part of the plate here on 3-2. Probably tie him up with that inside heater.
He flicks it up the left field line. It's slicing, and it goes foul.
Made a mistake and got away with it. You saw Quintero prior to the pitch slide to the inside. He wanted that fastball in, and it ran back over the middle of the plate. Romero with a bid for extra bases, likely would have cleared the bases, but just foul. And the cue is watch where the ball ends up. The hitter in protect mode is vulnerable to a good inside fastball.
Now another 3-2 pitch. Augie Ojeda's on deck. And it is ball 4.
Oh, my! Wow!
Well, Hernandez had called the inside pitch earlier in this
that
inning.
ball's right down the middle.
2-0.
You've got to be calling it low. It's on the plate. Wow. How do you take this pitch?
You're right. That caught a lot of places.
I'm looking next door to Diamondback broadcasters, and they're just as stunned as we are.
2-0 game. Here's Ojeda. Strike one. 237 to the switch hitting shortstop with 1 homer, 7 runs batted in. Stephen Drew away for family reasons. Ojeda gets a second straight start. He's hitting .265 as a left-handed batter. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count for Bud Norris. 37 pitches into his first inning.
He was swinging the bat well last night. A couple of doubles for Augie.
One and two. Angel Hernandez has home plate today. Andy Marsh, Lance Barksdale, and Marvin Hudson joining him on this crew. Ojeda's from Mexico. 34 years old. The White Sox in Minnesota. Up the middle into center field. That'll score a couple to make it 4-0. 2-run single for Ojeda, giving him 9 runs batted in. Romero goes first to third.
Tried a backdoor slider, and it just stayed up and hovered there for Ojeda. Another good swing of the bat for Augie. And you know, last night Moeller was in a similar situation under duress early, was able to limit the damage to 2, and that proved to be a difference maker. Now down 4. Diamondbacks in a very comfortable situation here in the first. John Garland, Bud's opposite number, gets an at bat here before he has to take the hill. That's always a good feeling for a starting pitcher.
Garland has 5 hits and 53 at bats, an .094 batting average. And he pokes a line drive single into right to make it 5-0 with Felipe Paulino warming up for the Astros. Garland gets his first RBI. It's his 5th RBI as a major league hitter.
Dewey's already been out there once, so Bud's going to have to work through this on his own. If he doesn't get things straightened out in a hurry, Polino's probably going to be in this ball game. Tough break. Hernandez squeezing him a little bit on that 1-3-2 pitch, but for the most part, Bud has just been a little bit out of sync with his mechanics and leaving a lot of pitches up.
Fred Olchin grounded out to lead off the game. He looks at strike one. Olchin, the Australian-born player from Sydney, comes up with runners at first and second and 2 down. That's 26 years old. He played at AAA Tucson last year. Fouling that one back. He falls behind 0-2. The Astros have won 5 of their last 6. The Cubs have lost 5 of 6. So the Astros have moved to just 1 game behind Chicago, 9 games behind St. Louis. 61 wins, 62 losses for Cecil Cooper's club, with a 4-1 record on this homestand.
The Astros would be in great shape if we were in the NHL. If everybody makes the playoffs in that league,
yeah.
The NBA even.
Good point. Won 7 of their last 11 at home, but the D-backs getting a big jump here at 5-0 and still batting. It's 2-2. It's been a 44-pitch first inning for Bud Norris. Just a nightmarish start for a pitcher. Bud's 24 years old from Green Bay, California. Out to second. Matsui backs up and throws him out. 10 men come to the plate for Arizona. 5-run score on 5 hits with 2 men left. Brought to you by AT&T. Michael Bourne in center field. Miguel Tejada shortstop. Lance Berkman first base. Carlos Lee left field. Jeff Blum third base. Jason Michaels giving Hunter Pence a spell. Getting a rest. Jason's in right field. Kazuo Matsui at second base. Humberto Quintero catcher. Bud Norris pitcher.
6'6", 29-year-old right-hander John Garland works for the Diamondbacks this afternoon. A bit of a rough year, 6-11. Yeah, right now horrible, but not good either at 4.42. He's a contact pitcher, struck out 74 and 154 2/3 innings. Gets ground balls with a sinking fastball. Also shows a cutter, slider, changeup, curveball.
It's Michael Bourne getting it started for the Astros. 289, 3 homers, 30 runs batted in. A couple of hits for Michael in this series. Fielders creeping in close. Garland delivers, ball one. Garland is 0-1 with a 4.26 ERA against the Astros. Hit into left field. Michael Bourne just took it by the third baseman to Tracy's left. Ground ball single gets things going for the Astros.
Maybe it's just one of those days. Could be hitterish. Third baseman drawn in. Michael slaps it by him. He stays back. He drops the bunt down and beats that out. That's the dilemma Chad Tracy and all the National League third basemen have to deal with. The Houston guys, Houston area guys, chatting it up down there at first.
Yeah. Miguel Tejada, 308, 10 homers, 69 runs batted in. He's 2 for 8 in this series. I was asking Michael Bourne if he had played any baseball with Brandon Allen there in the Houston area growing up together. He said, no, I didn't know where he was from until last night. We had a little conversation when I was on first and found out he was from Conroe.
Montgomery High School. It might have been Montgomery. There might be 4A out there.
Okay. Broken bat. It gets by the mound. Augie Ojeda charging. Goes out Tejada. Born to second, 1 out. Garland 0-1 with a 5.71 ERA in his last 3 starts. Gets his first out of the day.
He's been nothing if not durable over the years. 30-plus starts every season since 2002. And exactly 32 starts the last 4 seasons, and headed that way again this year. This is the career numbers for Garland: 112 wins, 100 losses, a 4.46 ERA lifetime. All in the American League prior to this year. Long run with the White Sox, his first big league club, and then last year with the Mighty Angels of Anaheim.
He was 14-8 with them. Worked 196 innings. Lance Berkman. It's a ball one.
14-8 with a 4.9 ERA last year.
Lance 2 for 7 in this series with 18 homers, 58 runs batted in. He's hit .324 in the month of August.
Wait a minute now.
Won the count.
That one last half.
Garland started Game 3 of the 05 World Series against the Astros when he was with the White Sox. Didn't get a decision. Roll to the right side, and the second baseman is there. Roberts with a flip, 2 outs. Going to third base for Carlos Lee now.
05 maybe Garland's best year, 18-10 that year with a 3.50 earned run average.
He's an all-star that year.
Apparently he has cleared waivers. A number of clubs keeping an eye on him. Might be a valuable pickup for somebody for a little boost to their starting rotation.
Yeah, a couple of pitchers have gone down in recent days. Contenders. 313 for Carlos Lee. There's strike one. Carlos with 21 homers, 79 runs batted in. Looking back at that Hernandez call.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit of a moving target today. Strike zone.
It's always fun. 0-2. Work from left field. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Carlos with 144 hits, tied for 7th in the National League. His last 6 games, he's 7 for 20. Fouls that one away. Carlos in the month of August has hit extremely well. 338, 4 homers, 16 runs batted in. That was his 2-strike approach. The Astros have tomorrow off. They'll be traveling to St. Louis. Open up a series there Tuesday night. They'll be in Arizona next weekend, and after that they visit Chicago. Cecil Cooper said that with Roy Oswalt and Wandy Rodriguez both down to pitch at St. Louis, those two will also pitch in that series at Wrigley Field against the Cubs.
And the Astros face the big three for the Redbirds. Wandy and Adam Wainwright Tuesday, Roy and Joel Pinheiro on Wednesday, Brian Moeller, Chris Carpenter on Thursday.
Carpenter won another one last night.
That threesome, Joel Pinheiro's 3.15 ERA, the highest.
Carpenter's now 14-3 with a 2.16 ERA. Fly ball left field. Parra backing on the track for the third out. No runs ahead, a runner stranded at third, 5-0 D-backs after one.
Phillies get to the game early as the first 10,000 fans will receive an Astros umbrella courtesy of HEB. And make sure you stick around after the game for a kolache eating contest presented by the Kolache Factory, followed by Friday night fireworks presented by Marathon Oil Corporation, weather permitting. Get your tickets now at Astros.com, guys.
Thanks, Patty. There was strike one to Ryan Roberts. 5-0 Arizona. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. He ripped a double to the left of Miguel Tejada to get things started in the Arizona first. Phillies had a 6-run first at New York. With the Mets 8-4 in the fourth. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Oliver Perez, I think, starting for the Mets today. Is that correct?
He lasted 2/3 of an inning. There were 4 hits, 6 earned runs. Pedro Martinez going for the Phils today. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Phillies are trying to take off. Leave everybody in their wake. They have a 6.5 game lead over both Atlanta and Florida, who play each other today in Atlanta. Right now it's 3-2 Braves after 3.
Morgan Ensberg jersey. How about that?
That trickles out to second base. Matsui with a throw on the run, not in time. It was hit up the middle. Norris on that one about waist high.
It must have hit him the way that ball reacted.
Looked like it did. It's hit for Roberts.
Maybe hit it off the end of the bat, a little bit of a changeup. It's kind of a funky looking play, but there she is, the Morgan Ensberg fan. She's got her balloon there, all ready to go. Looking for the Astros to make a furious comeback in this one.
Now it's Chad Tracy. Tracy single to left field, first time up. Here's ball 1. Tracy's played to first base. He's at third today. As JD mentioned, Arizona first basemen have left plenty of room for improvement with a .230 collective average and 13 homers. That's the worst first baseman production in the major leagues. And that includes 27 games at that position by Mark Reynolds. That's why Allen's getting a shot. Tony Clark was hurt. He's now working as a television commentator. 2 balls, no strikes. You have some key players out with injuries, as you've been mentioning this series, the outfielders.
Eric Burns is on a rehab assignment with their AAA club. Chris Young is now playing center field for the AAA club, to send down due to poor performance. And then Justin Upton is also on a rehab assignment, but they didn't want to send him to AAA because you would have the entire Major League outfield in AAA and the minor league outfield here, so they sent Upton to A-ball.
Usually that's not a good thing when your AAA outfield is playing the big leagues, your big league outfield is playing at AAA.
Yeah, things have not gone well.
3 balls and a strike.
Upton, I would think, is fairly close to coming back.
At this point, only about 8 days away from September recalls for these clubs. Sometimes they just wait until September 1st. That's ball 4, and now runners at first and second, nobody out for Montero as Norris tries to make the adjustment, or soon he'll be out of this game. He's thrown 55 pitches.
And Paulino was up throwing in the first inning, up again now. That's going to do it.
And that can be, you talked about this after the game last night, really critical for a starting pitcher. Brian Moeller was able to do those things to get outs, to limit the damage in a 2-run first last night, stay in for 5 2/3. Sometimes it goes the other way, and that's been the case for Bud Norris.
Yeah, you know, he got squeezed on that one big 3-2 pitch, and had he gotten that call, who knows? But bottom line is he wasn't throwing it where he wanted to this afternoon.
In, and this Astros call to the bullpen is brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Those are the numbers for Bud. Paulino hasn't been on the mound for the Astros since August 4th when he started here against the San Francisco Giants. He lost that game 8-1. Numbers are not pretty, and he really needs to show something between now and the end of the season for the Astros to be able to count on much from him at all next year.
And the minor league numbers, rock solid. 3.12 ERA at Round Rock. The arm, obviously, above average major league fastball. So far, it's not equated to success at this level. He's had some moments, had a couple real good starts, but some ugly ones. His work out of the bullpen has not been very good, to say the least. An ERA above 18 for relief outings for Felipe. So needs to work, command the strike zone, find some success, and build on it.
Throws hard, 96 on that fastball. His first start of the year was a beauty here against Cincinnati. 6 shutout innings. He got a no decision. That's a swing, and it's 1-2 to Montero. And his last win was a dandy game here against Detroit, June 27th. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, 9 strikeouts.
So we've seen glimpses of what Felipe can be if he puts it all together. And no pitcher's going to go out there and be outstanding every time. It becomes a percentage play.
Tejada with a flip. Matsui with a turn. 6-4-3 double play. Roberts to third. 2 outs.
Well, that's a good start. He comes in for a pitcher into a comfortable situation. His team is down 5. There's not a lot of pressure on him. But if he pitches well, the Astros rally, he could find himself a winning pitcher this afternoon. Bottom line, he just has to get outs, and he's off to a good start. Not as easy a double play ball as you're going to get.
Brandon Allen struck out in the first inning. Paulino came up from Round Rock on Tuesday when Mike Hampton was placed on the disabled list. Ball 1 to Allen.
Left-handers have been a particular thorn in the side for him. 392 lefties are hitting against Felipe at the big league level this year. There's a tendency for Paulino to fly open with his front shoulder, and then the left-handed hitters get a real good look at the ball when that happens.
His last outing was last Sunday at Reno for the Round Rock Express against the Arizona AAA club. He lost that game, allowing 7 hits and 5 runs in 6 innings. Strike makes it 2-1. Location has been off for him quite a bit of the time with the Astros. He's throwing hard, but hitting the ball in bad spots.
Yeah, and I think what happens when you're a kid like Paulino with this arm, you can throw 97 miles an hour. You get away with it in the minor leagues. You're just throwing it right by guys over the heart of the plate. Then you get up here, and you can still do it from time to time. But again, it's a percentage play, and you don't get away with it as much here. And we've seen him when he gets in trouble, the tendency is to overthrow and miss spots.
There's an RBI single for Allen. And it's 6-0 as Allen picks up his first major league RBI.
His first big league knock last night in his debut. Now drives run number 6 home for the Diamondbacks. That will be charged to Bud Norris.
Allen gets another special moment. He's had a nice weekend at home here. Gerardo Parra is the batter. He walked and scored in the first. That hit the corner for strike 1. And at Phillies' early explosion, Jason Worth had a 3-run shot off Aldo Perez, his 29th home run. Carlos Ruiz at number 8, another 3-run shot off Perez. Perez failed to make it out of the first for New York. 1 ball, 1 strike. Angel Pagana's hit 2 home runs. One was an inside the park homer off Pedro Martinez. And another one a solo shot off Pedro.
How many Phillies are going to hit 30 home runs this year?
There's going to be a few.
Worth's at 29 now.
Yeah. Utley's got, I think, 26 now. Of course, Ryan Howard would be there.
Utley 26, Ibanez 27, Worth 28, Howard 32. It's a scary lineup.
Oh, you know it. Astros have yet to see that lineup this year.
I was going to say, they're still in the league, right?
Well, we need to check. I've not seen any physical evidence of it as far as the Astros schedule, but it's coming. Popped up, Paulino back for the grab. In the second inning, it's 1 run, 2 hits and a man left. It's 6. Against John Garland, but hamstring has not come around yet to allow him to start. And there is Jeff Blum leading off the home second inning. We'll be getting to Patty Smith in a moment with the score 6-0. Blummer, a .263 hitter with 9 homers, has 45 runs batted in. Garland eases that one in. The count is 1-1. What's that all about? Oh, nicely adorned baseball.
He's showing us his split finger grip.
Inside, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Patty, what's going on with you today?
Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit later on, coming up on our Dodge Grab Life feature. Darren Erstad is going to actually tell us what's on his iPod.
Okay. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Somewhere on there, I'm guessing he's got Eye of the Tiger.
That's a good guess.
Very intense. Patty, you deal a lot with the Texans football players. You don't see those guys any more intense than Darren, do you, in their preparation?
Well, very similar. There's actually a pretty good connection there with Darren Erstad and Chris Brown. I think they kind of followed each other. Were kind of almost teammates together. So there's some similarities there.
Yeah, Nebraska football. All right, we'll look forward to that later, Pat. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jeff Blum, playing with a sore knee, but hitting the ball well, on a pace for his best RBI season ever. Get something started here as his former teammate with the White Sox, Garland, works to him. They were both on that 05 team. And there's a diving play. It gets away from Allen. There's a recovery, and a nice recovery by Roberts over to Garland on a 3-4-1 play for out number 1.
Yeah, you don't see the old 3-4-1 put out very often, but good heads-up play by Roberts to stay with it. Allen does a real nice job. Spins out a little bit. Gets leather on it, can't corral it, but his buddy to pick him up. Garland didn't quit on the play.
Jason Michaels getting the start today in right field. Looks at strike 1. 229 for Jason. 3 homers, 14 runs batted in. He is 3 for 5 with an RBI in his career against Garland. Came in to play the 9th inning in left field Friday night. It's a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Erstad would be playing normally if he were healthy. He is 10 for 27 against Garland with a .370 average.
Sure. Cool. Pondered those numbers today. He was probably thinking, okay, I've got Garland out there. I've got runners on 2nd and 3rd in the 6th inning in a 1-run game, and I've got Darren Erstad ready to come off the bench.
True.
Now, down 6-0. That scenario is not likely to play out.
I'd love to have an opportunity for Darren to come off the bench, make it a closer game. But it's 6-0. Trying to save those pinch hitters for later. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Matsui's on deck. These 2 teams will meet each other in Arizona next weekend. And a strikeout for Garland, so he probably will be pitching one of those games. That's strikeout number 1 for him.
Garland, one of the reasons why the Diamondbacks were very optimistic coming into this season. They felt very good about their starting rotation. Brandon Webb, Dan Herron, John Garland. They got some horses to lead the way. And an up and down year for Garland, and Brandon Webb has been hurt all year.
Matsui looks at ball 1. He got a special award on the field for that 2000 hit. 236, 5 homers, 30 runs batted in. He's 1 for 4. RBI. That was a double first time up last night. Very good at bat for Caswell.
Dan Herron's held up his end. He's been one of the best pitchers in the National League all year long.
He sure has. 2.74 ERA. He'll pitch Tuesday at San Francisco against Matt Cain. That is a fantastic matchup. A pair of 12-game winners, both with ERAs under 3. So probably will pitch again on Sunday against the Astros in Arizona. Off the glove of the diving Tracy. Here's the throw from Ojeda, but not in time. It's a single for Matsui. And Matsui now starting to come around as a left-handed batter. Putting some good at-bats together. He had one first time up last night.
The Diamondbacks were out early yesterday before the game working on the deflection plays. And it's really paid off. They got an out on one and nearly another one here. Somebody at home scratching their head going, really? Do they really do that? No! They don't. Nobody's that thorough. Not even Buck Showalter would think to work on that.
Well, that's true. Came up and hit off the chest of Allen. Humberto Quintero with 2 homers, 11 runs batted in, has a .241 batting average. He hit a long home run Wednesday night against Florida to right center field. That's ball 1. He said it wasn't his longest. He hit one longer in San Diego. He's on a 4-game hitting streak right now. Quintero's hitting .318 in August, 7 for 22.
I don't think we're running here, John. It's 6-0. 2 outs in the second inning, maybe.
Well, you probably don't need to be too concerned with that with a 6-run lead. Pitcher spot due up next. Paulino is on deck.
Come on.
He's running. And the throw is high, and he makes it. Throw on into center field. Matsui there at second, still down, and he saw the center fielder Olchin come in to play it. So he gets steal number 13.
I apologize, John. You were right. You should have been thrown over there. I didn't think the Astros would be that daring on the bases, down 6. Can't afford to get thrown out.
They're throwing caution to the winds.
Yeah, and if the throw's accurate, he probably is out.
The Astros are 8 for 8 in stealing bases against the Diamondbacks this year. Count now 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes to Q.
There's a lot of sinkers down an inch of right-handed hitters, and that'll force a hitter, if he's looking in there, to clear out the front side, open the hips early to try to jerk that pitch. And if he comes away when you're looking in, there's not a whole lot you can do. It's the whole key to his game, command both sides of the plate.
Well, the first-round pick of the Cubs in '97. He was the 10th player drafted. He's from Valencia, California. He was traded to the White Sox for Matt Karchner in July of '98.
Matt Karchner, hard-throwing righty, right?
Yep.
Didn't survive very long.
No.
What happened? Did it hurt?
I think he had arm problems.
Don't we all?
Seems like it. If you want to use your arms at all, seems that lifting in.
Adjustable rate mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah, there have been plenty of problems with them too. You're right. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Q. Indians lead the Mariners 2-1 in 6th. There's a ground going foul.
We're putting up a pretty good battle here. It would be nice to get on the board. Take advantage of that stolen base.
That'll be a start. If you just start the ball rolling, it gets a whole lot easier to keep it moving. Ken Griffey Jr. hit his 13th today for the Mariners at Cleveland. Johnny Peralta with number 10 for the Tribe. He's lead at 2-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Against Pink Felix Hernandez, Fausto Carmona. In the dirt, there's the block by Montero. It's ball 4 to Quintero. Runners at first and second. For Paulino now.
Good at bat there by Q. Didn't get the run home, but worked hard, drew a walk, and if nothing else, you clear Paulino's spot in the batting order and start at the top next go around. And who knows, maybe Felipe gets a knock here.
He's 1 for 15. Michael Bourne on deck. A good cut, and he fouls it for strike 1.
He's trying to cut this lead in half.
Yes, he is. Well, Tim Burdack got an at bat last night. Now another relief pitcher, Paulino, comes up. Wesley Wright has a hit, and so does Jeff Fulcino. So the bullpen crew wouldn't mind at all if one more guy chimes in. 4 balls, 2 strikes. When you start throwing sliders now, it's a different game.
He had a pretty good swing at that first one, and that's bottom of the breaking ball.
McCann hit his 16th home run for the Braves. And Garland finishes him off for strikeout number 2. No runs a hit, 2 men stranded. After 2, it's 6-0 D-backs.
Sunday, September 6th at 1:05. Bring out the family. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend at Minute Maid Park. The first 10,000 kids 15 and under will receive an El Caballo Webkins courtesy of Kellogg's. And don't forget, the Astros and Minute Maid have extended kids-free tickets for the rest of the season, so get your tickets now at astros.com. Big weekend, guys. The Webkins are in demand.
Oh, cute little pony. Thank you, Patty. There's the big Webkins out in left field. And it is 6-0 D-backs. Romero leads it off.
The singing Webkins.
Yeah, that's right. Romero drew a bases-loaded walk in the first inning.
If you weren't with us at the beginning, we had a shot of El Caballo singing with the choir, singing the national anthem pregame.
1 ball, 1 strike for Paulino in relief of Bud Norris, who in 1 inning plus allowed 6 hits, 6 runs with 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Goes to 2-1 with Ojeda on deck and Garland due up 3rd in the inning. Marlins 5, Braves 4, top of the 5th in Atlanta. Ricky Nolasco versus Derek Lowe. Plenty of hitting in that game.
Just counting on Derek Lowe today to take me to the playoffs, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. The Arosando Giants are going to go down hard.
Well, Derek Lowe got support in the first inning. A 3-run homer from Brian McCann off Nolasco. He had a 3-0 lead after 1. Into left field. A hit for Romero.
I should have seen this one coming after the first 2 games of this series. The Astros won the first 2 games of this series, and they only needed 5 runs to do it. 1-0 in game 1, 4-2 last night. Keep talking about the lack of firepower in this Arizona lineup, and they put 6 runs on the board on 8 hits. And here we are in the top of the 3rd inning.
Augie Ojeda had the 2-run single up the middle. There's strike 1. A very low scoring season series between these 2 clubs.
The Diamondbacks won 153 plate appearances without a walk until Mark Reynolds drew one in the 5th inning of last night's game. And that includes a 3-game series at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, where if you pitch in that ballpark, you tend to be a little cautious. And that was the first time since 1996, and only the 2nd time in the past 23 years that a team has pitched a 3-game series without issuing a walk.
Interesting. Michael Bourne in center field moves over. 1 out.
I'll tell you what's interesting. If an Astro player hits the foul poles today, all the good folks here in the ballpark can take their ticket stubs to Chick-fil-A tomorrow. And we'll get a free werewolf sandwich.
Yeah, what is that?
They'll get a free Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, courtesy of the good folks at Chick-fil-A.
Well, watch out for those werewolves at Chick-fil-A.
See, now if we're playing Sandlot, it'd be an easier game to come back in. At least you could have a rule. You hit the foul pole, it's worth 4 runs automatically. When you play those pickup games when you're a kid, you have those kind of fun rules.
That's true. Could make it big.
Yeah, hit it off the flagpole, it's 10.
And Garland in the RBI single. Now he's checking with his third base coach, Chip Hale. Looks like the bunt is in order here. 6-0 lead. Garland takes. Yeah, sometimes you're in somebody's yard. It wasn't a big enough yard to really allow the whole baseball field to be used, so you'd have to hit everything to the opposite field because there'd be a house in your way.
Or you didn't have enough guys to cover the field, so you had to call your field.
It's either that or smash out a window. Bunted back to Paulino. And it goes to Matsui for out number 2. Sacrifice for Garland, number 3 of the year.
You might be wondering what other team went 3 games without issuing a walk in a 3-game set.
Yeah.
Well, by golly, it would be the 1996 Atlanta Braves, of course. Steve Avery, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine were the pitchers. They did that against the 3-swinging Colorado Rockies.
Well, with Pedro pitching today, it's going to be interesting to watch that because last time out there was a rain delay. And Jamie Moyer came in after he had started the game and pitched 6 shutout innings in relief. Pedro has an 8-4 lead right now in the 4th inning at New York. His return against the Mets. Trent Olchin takes ball 1. He is 0 for 2.
Yeah, they've actually played 6 now. Pedro has pitched 6 innings of 4-run baseball. So it's, not great, but boy, with that lineup, probably good enough to win most of the time.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Garland and the stories that he cleared waivers. Aaron Cook now has been placed on the disabled list by the Rockies. And they've called up Matt Hergis from the minor leagues. But sometimes an injury like that would motivate a club in contention. Try to make a deal for somebody who's a well-seasoned pitcher who has come through waivers without being claimed and is available.
The Rockies just signed Jason Giambi.
Saw that this morning. He's going to AAA for them?
I don't know. I just saw where they had signed him.
Well, that was the talk this morning. He'll go to AAA, Colorado Springs, and maybe be a September call-up, which is a different way to go. So what they're saying is he won't be eligible for postseason normally, but he might help us win a few games in September to get us to postseason. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Olchin.
Yeah, you get in the position that the Rockies are in, having climbed from so far back, now leading the wild card. I mean, you do whatever you can to get incrementally just a little bit better. You get a little bit faster at this position or a little more power. Why not go for it?
Bouncer Paulino. No edge. He threw out Olchin, but Olchin was making it close there at the end, and it is 6-0.
Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by AT&T, by the Ford F-150, and by the MD Anderson Cancer Center. Strolling the concourses with their foam fingers, foamy beverages, and foamy friends.
Michael Bourne leads it off in the home third inning. 6-0 D-backs. That one's near the left field line. It's slicing. It's a fair ball into the corner. Bourne will check in with a double. He's 2 for 2 in this game. That's his 23rd two-base hit of the year.
Well, using that good outfield approach, single to left, and now a double to left field. Gerardo Parra, I don't know if he thought that ball was going to slice foul or if he just decided that I couldn't make a play on it, so I'm going to wait and read it. But he stayed a long way away from it. It's not going to change the outcome. He didn't really pursue that ball until the last. But again, would have been a double anyway. Slice it. This is a run you got to get. Down 6, leadoff double, 2, 3, 4 coming up.
Yeah, and you have to get it in such a way as not to waste outs to get it.
You're not thinking about giving yourself up to advance a base runner here. You're thinking about driving him in, hitting over somebody's head.
Miguel Tejada grounded out to shortstop earlier. He takes strike one. Well, Miggy, of course, has a history of driving in runs throughout his major league career. More than 1,100 runs batted in. He's hitting .317 this season with men in scoring position. He's driven in 53. And it's Berkman on deck. Then Carlos Lee. Off-speed pitch from Garland. Tejada out in front. 0-2. The Astros really need a big rally here.
And we talked about Garland's ability to throw the sinking fastball down and in, and how hitters got to kind of clear out the front side to get to it. And how you'd be vulnerable away, also vulnerable to a straight change. And that was a dandy he just threw Miggy.
Now he goes down for that sinker, and it's still no balls, 2 strikes. Tejada has a .423 career average against Garland. Aaron Harang has undergone season-ending surgery for Cincinnati.
Did I read appendectomy? That sound right?
I didn't read it yet.
Yeah, appendectomy.
Okay.
Boy, it's been a tough couple of years for big Aaron Harang.
Yep, emergency appendectomy late Saturday night, out for the season. Fouled, and it's still 0-2. With that leadoff double, Bourne really helps the Astros' cause. He has 2 of the 3 hits off Garland. If some other guys chime in here in this inning, get him out of his comfort zone, the Astros can come back and make a game out of it. Very difficult falling behind 6-0, but it can be done.
Garland really knows how to execute a game plan. Doing a nice job here mixing the fastball changeup combination. Got Miggy talking to himself. Although it's kind of a constant anyway, isn't it?
Yeah. He likes to do that when he hits. John Smoltz will make his Cardinal debut at San Diego later. Bounce foul. Still a 1-2 count, so the Astros will miss him when they go to St. Louis. You talked about the 3 fine pitchers earlier they'll be facing: Wainwright, Pinheiro, and Carpenter. But Kyle Loesch is now on the disabled list. Cardinals called up Mitchell Boggs.
It's kind of funny to think, but rarely have we been in a position where we think, boy, it'd be nice to catch Smoltz. We'd rather deal with Smoltz right now than the trio we're going to see.
True. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Toronto leading the Angels now 8-2, bottom of the 6th inning. Angels are 6.5 in front of Texas in the AL West. Foul ball.
The Angels, I think it was Tuesday night of this week, finished the game. Their entire lineup was hitting 300 or better.
Yes.
First time that had happened since the 1934 Detroit Tigers.
At least 100 games into a season, each player in the starting batting order hitting 300 or better. We had Sean Figgins hitting 308, Bobby Abreu 310, Juan Rivera 310, Vladimir Guerrero 313, Henry Morales 303. Good take there by Miggy, and it's 3-2. He's battled his way through this at bat so far. Torrey Hunter 307, Meiser is tourist 300, Mike Napoli 300.
Pretty good battle in the American League for best overall record. Obviously important for a playoff home field advantage. Yankees and the Angels both been tearing it up since the All-Star break.
10th pitch coming to Tejada. He fouls it. 1934 Tigers. Those 300 hitters, they had guys like JoJo White. Ever heard of him?
Played for the Celtics.
Oh, okay. He was a center fielder. Mickey Cochran, Charlie Gehringer, Goose Gosman, Billy Rogel, Hank Greenberg, Marv Owen, G. Walker, and Schoolboy Rowe was the pitcher. He hit 302. Angels, of course, had a DH. Bouncer goes foul. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes for Garland, who had that good year with the Angels last year, winning 14, losing 8. Garland was kind of critical of his teammates after they lost to Colorado earlier this year. And he said to me, we're going out there and playing like a last place team. I don't see any fight in them. I don't see anyone that wants it. Over the bag, diving stop. Chad Tracy with a high throw. He throws it away. Ball stays in play. And the throw back gets away.
Oh, man.
First and third, nobody out. This ball is ricocheting around like a pinball at Minute Maid Park.
So much to talk about, so little time. What an at-bat by Miguel Tejada. You talk about a battle. And then Tracy, after that lengthy battle, makes a heck of a play with the glove, but the arm betrays him as he sails the throw. Allen can't get it. Dave Clark is cranking, trying to send Michael Bourne. Michael doesn't buy it. Takes a couple steps beyond third base before retreating. And with this throw getting loose in the infield, had Michael continued on, he would have scored, but you can't anticipate that. That was kind of fun.
It was.
And you see Clarkie waving, and Michael starts to come, but then he picks up the ball, realizing, if I go, they probably get me. I think he made a prudent decision.
That's Berkman. Fouls it for strike 1. He rolled out to second base in the first inning. He cranks one here. It's going to get interesting at Minute Maid Park. Carlos Lee on deck.
And it may well be that Dave Clark wasn't necessarily sending Michael as much as just come on round the bag and read it. And round the bag and take a look. Don't stop on the bag here and see what develops.
Liner caught. Roberts went up and snagged it. 1 out. Carlos Lee hit a warning track fly ball to left in the first inning.
The recipe for success in a game like this is traffic and somebody knocking out of the ballpark. I think of no better candidate than the man who joined the choir for the national anthem.
Jeff Blum's on deck. Well, he wasn't the leader of the choir, but he chimed right in. In this case, the leader of the inning, Michael Bourne, with a double. Then Tejada followed. That infield hit behind third, and we'd love to see Carlos chime right in. Ochin very deep in left center.
No. Carlos is just stunned.
Well, the first time up, he got a tough call on a breaking ball away. This time he doesn't even say anything. attention on Garland. Johnson is short. There's one. Ojeda makes it a double play. 6-3. No runs, 2 hits, and a man left after 3. Garland and the D-backs lead the Astros 6-0. Leaders, Joe Niekro's the man at 144. Then it's Larry Dierker, 137. Roy Oswalt now up to 136. Then it's Mike Scott and J.R. Richard rounding out the top 5. Strike 1 to Roberts, leading off the 4th inning. Ryan Roberts is 2 for 2 in this game and has scored 2 runs. The ball hits out to Michael Bourne in center field. And we get Aflac trivia this inning as well. Question being, let's find out. Which D-back has the most opening day starts at any position?
D-back, they start 98?
Yes. Chad Tracy has a single and a walk. Long-time D-back players. Let's think about this. Got a pretty good turnover.
Gonzo comes to mind.
Yeah.
I threw him out there last night.
We'll just keep throwing him out there. Connor Jackson. No balls, 2 strikes.
Steve
Finley. Good breaking pitch for Paulino, gets him a strikeout. That's number 1.
One man's misery is another man's opportunity quite often in baseball. If you Googled Wally Pipp as you were assigned the other night, what that's all about. Bud Norris knocked out early today, an opportunity for Paulino to get in there and impress.
Miguel Montero takes ball 1. Montero with an RBI single in that 5-run first, then bounced into a double play in the second. He was the first man Paulino faced. Got off to a nice start with that double play ball.
How about Randy Johnson?
Well, you might have something there.
Number of opening day starts for the D-backs.
Yeah, we're having a problem coming up with a lot of position players who started that many games for them on opening day. 2 balls, no strikes. Let's go with the biggie. All the way, and it's 2-1. Texas leads 3-0 at Tampa Bay in the middle of the 6th inning. Scott Feldman on the mound for the Rangers. They lost a wild one in the 10th last night. It's a pretty good wild card race in the AL right now. Bounce to shortstop. Tejada to Bookman in the 4th inning. The Diamondbacks go quietly for Felipe Paulino. 6-0 Arizona. Johnson. Luis Gonzalez with 8. Well, we put him out there again.
Yeah, he was the first guy we said. That counts.
That'll be fun to be there in Phoenix next weekend when he is honored by the D-backs. Jeff Plum leads it off at 6-0. John Garland and the Diamondbacks leading the Astros. Strike one to Jeff. It grounded out off the glove of Allen to Roberts, and the pitcher Garland covering in the 2nd inning.
Well, I'm sure we'll have a little footage of that ceremony. Maybe we'll even get Gonzo on the air with us for a little bit.
Love to do that. Fly ball to center field. Holchin over. 1 out. In that Texas game, 3-0 Texas at Tampa Bay in the 6th. It's Feldman versus David Price, and Pudge Rodriguez is catching today as a hit, an RBI, and a walk. Michael Young is driven in 2. Jason Michaels worked the count to 2-2 in the 2nd inning. Garland struck him out. Strike one for John Garland, shooting for win number 7 of the season. He has an option for next year as a part of his contract. Rounded wide of third base. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Garland won 112 in the big leagues. His top victory season, 18. That 05 year, and then he duplicated that in 06. He was 18-7 in 06. Consistently, he's won in double figures. 1 and 2. In fact, he's had 7 straight years winning in double figures, with 190 innings or more in each of those. Earlier this season, he had the longest losing streak of his career. He went 0-6 with 2 no decisions, but he's not had a lot of run support. In 5 of those 6 losses, Arizona scored 3 runs or fewer.
Yeah, looking at the numbers, he's probably pitched a little bit better this year than last. And last year he was 14-8. That's the way it shakes out sometimes. Diamondbacks with some interesting decisions to make. Option on Garland. They got an option in a fairly reasonable option on Brandon Webb as well. Coming off surgery, you're not sure what you're going to get out of him.
Garland gets a strikeout.
But if you let Brandon Webb get away and he turns back into Brandon Webb for somebody else, kind of banging your head against the wall, wishing he was still yours.
Yeah, especially if he's affordable, as you say.
Well, one man's affordable, another man's expensive. But
yeah,
I saw the number not too long ago, and it wasn't that bad.
Matsui got on an infield hit in the second inning. Garland snags that low liner. A shot up the middle, turning into out number 3. And in the fourth inning, the Astros are retired 1-2-3. Matsui hit it sharply, but it's 6-0 D-backs. Inside a ride. We go to the fifth inning, and it's 6-0. The Diamondbacks lead the Astros.
He's playing hooky over at the Ferris wheel. What's up with that?
Looked pretty good. There's strike one to Allen. Allen drove in a run with a single in the second inning. He's 1 for 2. Got a shot of Brandon's parents in the stands last night.
Mom couldn't watch?
No, she couldn't. It's 1-1.
$8.5 million is the club option on Brandon Webb.
That's considered to be affordable for a pitcher of his stature.
$1.5 million buyout. There's the Allen family. See, he's got a knock and an RBI under his belt already. He's a little more relaxed today.
Getting to be old hat for them by now. Watching their son play in a major league game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Very exciting time for a young man. And he says he still considers himself a minor leaguer. He has to keep working hard to justify it.
It's a good mindset to have. You know, I'm in the big league, but I'm still a minor leaguer. Still a lot to learn. And speaking of minor leaguers,
Jack in the Box standings show you the farm report. Jason Castro's hitting .299 since he was promoted to AA Corpus. Colby Clemens is hitting .342 at Lancaster with 18 homers, 109 runs batted in. A big year for Colby Clemens. Giovanni Meyer, just drafted in the first round this year for the Astros, has shown Ed Wade good leadership and has some nice numbers at shortstop. Gerardo Parra was strike one in the count. Fouls that one away, and it's 0-2. He walked and scored in the first and hit the ball back to the pitcher in the second.
hitters have a variety of things they do to load up timing mechanisms. Parra's got that little hitch he does with his hips. He turns that front foot inward a little bit, closes off those hips to make sure he keeps his weight back.
Lonnie Myers hitting .287 at Greenville. Rolled up the line, and then it goes foul. He has 5 homers, 25 runs batted in for 157 at bats, and 870 OPS. His first year as a pro. The Nationals are leading the Brewers 8-2. They've played 6 in Washington. Brewers are still a half game behind the Astros. Manny Parra got shelled, 3 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs for Milwaukee. Greg Stammen has gone 6, giving up 2, and he's still in there for Washington. Michael Bourne, Carlos Lee head back in left center field, and way back, Carlos Lee with a retreating catch. The guys in the Arizona bullpen had a good look at it.
A good play for a choir boy.
Sings the anthem. He makes great catches in left field. What else is he going to do? Sell popcorn?
Buyout doing a little Willie Mays for us out there. Turns the corner, finds the baseball. Probably a clever one-liner delivered to the Diamondback bullpen.
A galloping play by El Caballo. Here's Alex Romero. And there's strike 1 to him. He has a bases loaded walk and a single. Adam Dunn hit his 33rd home run of the season for Washington. Ryan Zimmerman chimed in with his 26th. He's had a very nice year this year. Christian Guzman hit number 6. So the Nationals have some fight in them today, and they've lost 5 in a row. Milwaukee trying to sweep that series. That's a 4-game series wrapping around the weekend to tomorrow night. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Paulino's thrown 51 pitches. It's 2-2. Ed Wade was talking about him a few nights ago. He said, well, he'll be in kind of a similar situation next spring to Fernando Nieve this spring. He will be out of options next year. Three balls, 2 strikes. It'll be decision time for the Astros. They won't be able to send him down to the minor leagues unless they still have some outrights remaining on him. Something like that, and then he would possibly be claimed by another club. We'll have to wait and see what that situation is. Toward the left field corner, slicing and going foul.
And I think the desire for everybody is that he pitches well enough the remainder of this season and in spring training next year. I don't know if he's playing winter ball or not, but he shows enough between now and opening day of next season where he could find a place on this club, either in the rotation or the bullpen. You hate to give up on an arm like this.
He's done well today in relief. He's given up 2 singles, has not been charged with a run since he entered the game with runners on and nobody out in the second. Good breaking pitch, strikes out Romero. That's number 3 for Paulino. And he's holding the line. Diamondbacks 6, Astros nothing. After
The Anderson Cancer Center, August 23rd, 1980. Joe Niekro comes in relief to start the 16th and then delivers the game-winning hit in the 17th, driving home Enos Cabell. A 1-0 17-inning win. How about that?
Deep drive to right field by Quintero, way back into right, opposite field, home run on the first pitch of the bottom of the 5th inning. His second home run this week. Number 3 of the season. The Astros are on the board, trailing 6-1.
Start, bottom of the 5th, still plenty of time left. These fans are ready to get up and celebrate. Little cut fastball. Outer third and up, and he just rides it into the seats in right field.
Quintero makes it 6-1. Here's Edwin Masonette now, pinch hitting for Felipe Paulino. Masonette, a .309 hitter with 1 homer, 7 runs batted in. Trying to keep it going. He was recalled prior to Tuesday night's game from Round Rock. This is his 3rd stint with the Astros. His first coming May 22nd through June 27th. He hit .315 in that one. He's had a chance to start 15 games. Hit .235 at Round Rock. Into left field, so he's just a better major league hitter than he was at AAA this season for whatever reason. Pinch single for Edwin Masonette. That's his first pinch hit of the year. He had been 0 for 2 as a pinch hitter. Now Michael Bourne, he's 2 for 2. To left, a double to left for Bourne. Paulino in 4 innings allowed 2 hits, no runs, with no walks, 3 strikeouts. Bud Norris, the starter, threw 55 pitches. Paulino, the reliever, threw 55 pitches. Ball 1 to Bourne. So an excellent job for the Astros' first reliever in the game. Alberto Arias has been warming up. Now the offense starts cranking. 6 hits allowed by Garland. 1-1.
I suspect at some point he's going to try to come in on Michael here. He's 2 for 2 so far today, and he's hit the ball to left field both times. Garland would want to see if he could turn on an inside fastball, maybe that cutter. And Michael has shown the ability to do that this year.
Masonette draws a throw. Garland's last win was at New York, August 2nd. He went the distance, beating the Mets 5-2. Tejada's on deck. That's strike 2, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Michael. Reds 3, Pirates 1 at the end of 5 in Pittsburgh. Homer Bailey for Cincinnati. Kevin Hart for Pittsburgh. Another throw goes over. Pittsburgh has now catapulted itself into 5th place in front of Cincinnati by a half game by winning 5 in a row. Pirates at 33-27 at home.
Now they're doing a nice job making the adjustment. Now he's come in on back-to-back offerings. Finish off Michael. First the fastball, then the slider. It's the late movement, starts it in and continues to run down and in, chewing them up.
4th strikeout for Garland. Tejada has pulled the ball both times, grounding to short, and grounding one behind third, where Tracy was able to make a diving stop, but Tejada got an infield hit on it. It goes out of play for strike 1.
A dangerous combination here. Garland has induced 20 ground ball double plays this year. Mickey's hit into a bunch. Last time I checked, he was leading the league, and he set the National League record last year.
left field. Parra back. 2 outs. Our Geico quote today comes from Joe Niekro's top 10 list on David Letterman in 1987 while he was serving a 10-game suspension. Number 7, delicate double-knit uniform, easily snagged on rough nails. That's when they found him with the emery board in his back pocket. He had that 10-game suspension, but later he wound up going to his first ever World Series after 19 years as a big leaguer.
Gotta have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
And the ironic thing is, when pitchers scuff the baseball, they don't do it with an emery board. The emery board was a legit tool for a knuckleballer to file his nails, but it was enough evidence for the umpires to bust him. And he probably had sandpaper somewhere else on his hand that he was using to scuff doctor the ball with. Mm-hmm. But the emery board, for a knuckleballer, is a very important piece of equipment. You got to keep the nails filed, and you can't take an emery board out of your pocket on the mound and scuff the baseball. When people scuff the baseball, they have a little piece of sandpaper glued to their finger or palm.
Just kind of rough up the surface, don't they?
Just fluff it a little bit.
There's ball 1. Well, now with the knuckleball, and we didn't have time to get into this on Astros Live, but Steve Sparks was explaining that Joe Niekro threw his knuckleball a lot harder than most knuckleball pitchers. But don't you dig in those nails into the side of the ball?
Right. Yeah. You don't throw it with the knuckles. That's a misnomer. Just throw them with the fingertips with the nails. Well, Nutsy tried to was more of a fastball slider guy originally, right? And kind of had the knuckleball as a third pitch or a trick pitch, and then started to implement it more.
Steve Sparks explained Phil Niekro was a knuckleball pitcher. Joe Niekro was a pitcher who happened to throw a knuckleball. And he had a better fastball and slider than Phil did. But then later, of course, the knuckleball became more prominent for him. And another thing we didn't get to was that he hit his only major league homer off his brother Phil. He won that game.
The number 1 top 10 excuse was, I like to give pedicures to ball boys.
Strike to Berkman. It's 2-1.
Number 6, I was using it to make a statue of Commissioner Uberoff.
Cubs and the Dodgers have a later start. It'll be Ryan Dempster and Chad Billingsley in Los Angeles this afternoon. To center field. Olchin backing. It is back to the infield. Way back. And that's off the wall. Around third, Masonette. He'll score to make it 6-2 on an RBI double by Berkman. That's a home run in a lot of places. And a long double here for his 59th run batted in. 26 doubles for Lance.
Yeah, Lance doesn't really hit that many cheap home runs into the Crawford boxes. This ballpark takes more away from Lance than it gives him. He powers this ball pretty much straight away center field. Garland showing some signs of vulnerability here in the 5th.
Yeah, that's 8 doubles in 13 games for Berkman. 26 overall. Now Carlos Lee will try to build on it. He's 0 for 2. Garland got him on a double play ball in the 3rd inning. Here's strike 1. Carlos was carrying a nice tune there. It appeared for the national anthem when he joined those anthem singers in the outfield, but doused the Astros rally in the 3rd when Garland got him on that 6-3 double play. First and 3rd and 1 out. That was a discordant note. Carlos didn't like that call either. 0-2.
John Garland, why not just stay out there?
Yeah.
What's a hitter going to do? That's what you can do, just kind of punch it to right field and hope it falls in. Dive like crazy. That's Probably what's running through Collis's mind right now. Okay, how aggressive do I go out to cover that pitch off the outside corner? And if he throws me a sinker in, I've got no chance.
Montero talk it over. Working hits number 7 for the Astros. The D-backs have 8 hits. Giants 2, Rockies nothing. Middle of the third in Colorado. Tim Lincecum has given up a hit to the Rockies through the first 2. Next around the corner is Ubaldo Jimenez. Took a shot. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rockies won a crazy one last night, 14-11. Colorado leads San Francisco now by 2 in the wild card race as we look at Garland's numbers. Blum on deck. To right field, and it's a hit. Romero unable to get there for the catch. Berkman scores. And now it's 6-3 ball game as Lee does take it the other way for an RBI single, giving him 80 runs batted in.
That was about his only option. Can't afford to take that pitch with the strike zone of Angel Hernandez this afternoon. So go ahead and take a whack at it and see what happens. Slider this time though backs up, catches more of the plate.
Berkman coming home to make it a 3-run lead now. It was 6-0. Los Caballitos happy about that development.
Garland now at 85 pitches, working awfully hard here in the 5th. He's got to finish this inning to qualify for the win. Well, the Diamondbacks are going to do everything they can to make that happen. A frustrating year for them at 6-11.
Stottlemyre Jr. back to the dugout. Jeff Blum, the batter, 0 for 2.
But the flip side of it is the Diamondbacks have had an awfully tough time scoring runs of late. And you don't want to let this 6-run lead completely evaporate if you're A.J. Hinch before you make a move.
Ball 1 to Blum. 86 pitches for Garland so far. Renteria's 2-run homer provided the Giants runs at Coors Field, his 3rd of the year.
Rockies have been an amazing story since Jim Tracy took over. A lot of it's their pitching.
Yeah.
Their starting pitching has been very good.
We've got to be a little worried about losing Aaron Cook to the disabled list right now. Little roller goes foul. It's 1 ball, 1 strike.
What's Cook got, Brownie?
I'm not sure what it was.
They have 4 pitchers in double digits in wins. They're the only team in baseball that can make that claim. Marquis a 14-game winner. De La Rosa 12-8. Jimenez 11-9. Cook 10-6.
Shoulder problem for Cook. Blum takes it down and in. McHugh goes to third base. He checked his swing.
Is it the 5th inning already?
Yeah, do you believe it?
Wow.
Marvin
This
Hudson's
is the kind of game where you could lose your concentration and forget how many outs there are.
It could happen.
But now I've got the JD auto meter.
Who put that up here anyway?
It's a thing of beauty, though.
Fly ball to left field. Parra back. And in the 5th inning, the Astros close in on John Garland a little bit, scoring 3 runs on 4 hits, leaving a man. It's now 6-3. Quintero opposite field home run.
Pretty good mix, mostly country, you know, mostly mainstream stuff, but if I had to pick one, of this country.
All right, there you go, guys. I know you waited all game to hear that, or is it just exactly what you expected?
Well, I don't know. What did we expect, JD?
Eye of the Tiger.
Eye of the Tiger, that's right. The country's cool, and you can see Darren getting into that. Alberto Arias comes in here in the 6th inning. He's 2-1 with a 3.43 ERA.
Well, he comes into a winnable situation. Paulino did a real nice job holding the D-backs down. The Astros have battled back for the 3 spot on the board. So, the first time all day, we can say, hey, we got a ball game. It's the 3 in the 6th.
So Arias, who throws ball 1 high, facing Augie Ojeda, who has a 2-run single. Really is charged with stopping the D-backs, adding to their 6-3 lead.
Arias, the beginning of the month was quite busy, but lately they've rested him some. He hasn't pitched much, just once in the last week. Pitched an inning in the Marlins series. His first appearance of the weekend.
He's had a sore right knee, but he's pitchable, as they say. To right center field, Michael Bourne over. Well, now we're going to go to Patty.
All right, time for our progressive fans of the game. And this is a colorful bunch here with some cute little hats. Who are you guys and what's up?
We're the freshmen from HBU. We have to wear these hats because it's a tradition. It's the longest standing tradition. They're actually called beanies. We're pretty proud to wear them. It's a pretty cool tradition.
It's all freshmen, but you got a different color shirt on. You're a leader. What's up here, and what do you make these guys do?
I'm a leader, and I help introduce them to HBU. And since this girl right here is not wearing her beanie, I want them to sing "I'm a Little Teapot" on national television.
Well, I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout.
Wow, that's all right, guys. That was a little bit embarrassing. Let's give us a little Husky pride to close it out with.
Dogs up.
Woo! All right, guys, that's our progressive fans of the game. There you go, guys.
Hey,
thanks so much. Welcome to HBU.
That took some moxie. I'd have been running for cover.
Good entertainment. That isn't hazing, by the way. Just good, clean fun. We want to see Jim Johnson do that someday. He's a professor there. Ground ball over third. That's a foul ball. And John Garland, the batter, has a 1-2 count with the president of HBU, Dr. Sloan, throughout the first pitch today. So it's a big day for HBU, and we're glad to have them here.
Right, schools. Local schools crank it up tomorrow. Colleges, a lot of them are back in session already.
John Garland helped his cause with an RBI single in that first inning. Leans back to the slider.
It's kind of like the NFL training camp. They make guys get up on the table and sing.
Yeah, I like that. They sing their alma mater, don't they?
Don't really do that too much in baseball in spring training. There's not really those spring training hazing rituals like you get in the NFL.
Well, they don't really have the training table where they all have to eat, but they do kind of gather to eat, so it could be done, couldn't it?
Well, yeah, it could be done in any. You could do it out on the field while you're stretching if you wanted to. It just hasn't really been part of the tradition of baseball. Just not any of the clubs I've been with.
Well, I think we need to change the tradition of baseball. Trent Olchen takes ball 1. Just because it hasn't been done for 150 years.
Doesn't mean we can't start hazing rookies. Well, they do it in season. They make them dress like women on the road sometimes. In the chart.
That's fun. Line drive deep to right field. Jason Michaels back. And that is off the wall. It kicks back in play. A double for Olchen. That's his 4th 2-base hit. Hit that ball well.
Well, Olchen had 12 hits in his first 5 major league games, and then been in a pretty good funk since then. Nice swing of the bat there. 0 for 3 prior to this one. Gets a sinker and didn't move away from him. Stayed in the inner half. Jason in hot pursuit. Right off the top of the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Lucky that one stayed in the yard.
Very lucky. Needed a little bit more Australian hop to get that over for a home run. He's at second now for Roberts. Roberts is 2 for 3 in this game. fall one. I believe it was Chad Qualls' rookie class, since Chad is in town now as the Diamondbacks closer. And they wore the evening wear. They were in Montreal, as I recall. He had a slinky long black dress on.
They look good.
Very fashionable on Chad.
Yeah, and the best is when they do it in Chicago, because a lot of them, typically when the team travels, they go from the ballpark to the tarmac and just get on the airplane. But a lot of times in Chicago, we'll go through the airport. And my favorite trip was we had a day game in Chicago. I think it was a Sunday day game. And we were walking through the terminal, busy part of the day at O'Hare, and we had 5 or 6 guys dressed up, and none better than Ezekiel Estacio in a leopard print dress. I mean, people were dropping their cell phones and spilling coffee. It was pretty darn impressive.
That was a sight to behold. Well, now with Chad Qualls in his class, we were in a long line to go through customs at the Montreal airport for probably 45 minutes. So
yeah, that's good too. Customs. Would you have anything to declare? Yeah, I'm a little weird. So.
Line shot to left. Carlos comes in. Stop sign at third. He throws toward the dish, and it's 1st and 3rd on the hit by Roberts. He's 3 for 4. Chad Tracy comes up.
Yeah, Roberts with a couple of hits in yesterday's ball game. 3 here today. And a big at bat coming now for Alberto. The Astros crawling back into this game. Merit a trip to the mound for Dewey Robinson.
Got that ball up. Just wondering about the sore right knee he's had. If you can't bend and push off that right knee, would that cause you to maybe lose some pitches upstairs a little bit more?
Maybe. I mean, anytime you're dealing with any kind of pain or injury, maybe it just affects your focus a little bit. I think it's incumbent on the player. If he's hurt to the point where his performance is going to suffer, then he's got to say, get me out of here. So I tend to, basically, when I see a guy in the game, my thinking is he's good enough to go.
Sure.
So I don't want to use an injury as a reason why he's struggling. And, it may be because he hasn't been used a lot because he's been hurting a little bit. That to me might be the bigger issue. He hasn't been out there much, and when you don't pitch a lot, it's hard to stay sharp.
Chad Tracy now with a single and a walk. We saw the in-game box score with the Arizona sprinkling of 10 hits throughout. Parr is the only guy who hasn't chimed in now. Strike to Tracy. They got 5 of those hits in the first inning when they scored 5 runs. 10 men went to the plate. But the Astros have worked their way back into this game, and that's why this hitter is really important. Hangs it off his leg, and it's 0-2 for Arias. And this late in the season, a lot of guys are hurting, let's face it.
And the other thing, too, is you're 9 games out of first place. There's really no reason to go out there if you're hurting and you jeopardize yourself.
Doug Brocail began his rehab assignment last night with Round Rock. He worked the scoreless inning in relief. 6 pitches, 4 strikes. Aaron Boone has moved up to AAA. He played third base, went 0 for 2. Runner takes off for second, and Quintero moved up. Reached back to catch a pitch.
He got the call
for strike 3. That is amazing. Quintero moved out, and the pitch was over the plate, and Tracy took it. Roberts easily at second, stolen. Here it is.
How about Angel ringing him up?
stretch right now. Let's check out the Frost Brewed Coors Light freeze cam showing you that pitch.
3-2 fastball. Looked like it was a pretty good pitch. Went for ball 4, walked in a run. Ball goes Bud's way. Maybe it's a different afternoon for him.
Run number 3, run number 2 of the first inning. And now in this 6-3 game, it's Jason Michaels with a 1-1 count. He's fanned both times against John Garland. Garland had 91 pitches for the day. Two balls and a strike. Phillies 9, Mets 7, bottom of the 9th in New York. Brad Lidge in the game. 2 men on, nobody out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Brad had a good 9th inning last night for the Phillies. They got 6 in the first at New York.
Wildman. Let's put 1 on the board in the 9th. 9-7, 21 hits in that game so far.
Now 3-2 to J. Mike. Matsui and Quintero to follow in the Astros 6th. Marlins 5, Braves 5 in the 8th. Popped up, it's out of play. Astros have not swept the Diamondbacks in Houston. They win this game, they'll really enjoy the day off tomorrow. Travel on to St. Louis late in the day. That's hit well to left field. That's going to make it 6-4 as J. Mike unloads. Home run number 4 for Jason Michaels. Makes it a 2-run Arizona lead.
Yeah, I think things feeling a lot better in that Astros dugout than in the Diamondback dugout, the way this one is playing out right now. 3 runs in the 5th, solo home run to start the 6th. Busy bullpen for the Diamondbacks. How much longer do they stay with John Garland? And Jason would struck out his first 2 times up. Sweet taste of redemption. No doubt.
On the 97 pennant. Bunted foul by Matsui for strike 1. Matsui is 1 for 2. He lined back to the pitcher in the 4th. And Michaels rips 1. Now it's a 2-run lead, and they can bite into this game now.
It's the best hot dog ever. It's a ball game.
At 6-0. After 1.5, these fans probably didn't know if the food would taste all that good. Come right now, but this game is something they can stay with. Tap to third. Tracy with the throw to a stretching Allen. 1 out. The Reliant power play is the home run by Quintero. This was the first pitch of the home 5th inning.
Fifth inning start, solo home run. 6th inning does as well. Day for 2. One of the more exciting called third strikes of the year. We just saw it in the back half of the inning.
Absolutely. Mark Schlereth and Juan Gutierrez are working in the bullpen. Schlereth, the lefty. Daniel Schlereth, rather. His father's Mark Schlereth. To left field by Quintero. Over to Parra. And that heads out for the bullpen wall. And the Astros keep it churning now. They get the potential tying run to home plate, and Darren Erstad is going to pinch hit.
Yeah, the Astros really starting to center the ball on John Garland. I got to believe A.J. Hinch is going to make the move here. Hunter Pence coming off the bench. That slider earlier had some good bite to it. Now it's kind of floating up there.
Erstad is saved for later. It's going to be Pence now. Pence hitting for Arias. Gutierrez hasn't had much time to get loose. That's a 282 hitter with 19 homers, has 57 runs batted in now. Hinch is coming out. This will buy some time for Gutierrez. It probably would have been Schlereth versus Erstad, so they pulled Erstad back. Didn't want to burn him. Still only the 6th inning. It's now a ball game. Each club with 10 hits.
Yeah, I think if you're convinced you're going to get the Erstad-Garland confrontation, you send Erstad up there. But the fact that Garland's getting knocked around now and just hanging by a thread, unlikely that A.J. Hinch would have let Garland stay in the game with Erstad's numbers against him.
Pence is 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter this year. Inside ball 1. Alberto Arias in 1 inning allowed 2 hits, no runs, and no walks, and struck out 2. 283 with men in scoring position. There's 1 out. Michael Bourne on deck. Pass to third where Tracy has it. 2 outs.
Was Tracy out with earlier? He had shoulder issues? He's throwing like a guy with a bad arm. He sailed a couple throws over there, and that time he really had to work hard to get on top to make that throw.
Right oblique strain.
Okay.
Michael Bourne is 2 for 3. They're hot on deck. Garland has to change. He does. But Bourne lets it go for ball 1. 104 pitches for Garland. Again, Bourne watches that one sail by. Another changeup, making it 2-0.
I'm surprised that AJ's leaving Garland in here the way Bourne. He struck him out last time. He had 2 hits first 2 times up. Now he's getting his 4th look at him.
One staying away with everything so far. Last time up, it came in on him. Bourne grounds to first. Here's Allen with the play. And Garland gets out of it in the 6th inning, but the Astros make it tighter. Jason Michaels with a long ball. It's now 6-4 Diamondbacks. began the turnaround, though. And in the 5th, they got 3, including a Quintero opposite field homer. Paulino really did a nice job for 4 innings. He allowed 2 hits, no runs. Alberto Arias worked a scoreless 6th. And now it is 6-4 after the Jason Michaels homer, his 4th of the year, as we move to the 7th inning, and it's Jeff Fulcino.
Well, Jeff came in, worked a 1/3 of an inning in last night's ball game. For the year, 40 times to the bump, 5-4 record, 364 earned run average. We'll face a slew of left-handed bats here. That's what everybody's been up against this Diamondback lineup. Stacked with lefties.
Miguel Montero, the first of those to bat here. He looks at strike 1 on a split finger pitch. Montero drove in a run with a single in the 1st inning, but then bounced into a double play as he faced Paulino in the 2nd. And grounded out again in the 4th. Fulcino's done well against lefty hitters this year.
And a split finger pitch really helps out against the lefties. Tim Burdack worked an inning and 2/3 last night through 25 pitches. I suspect he's available, but maybe not.
Cook thought he would be available today. He met with the media before the game. Day off coming tomorrow for the Astros pitching staff. 2 balls and a strike. Burdack threw 25 pitches last night. And really helped bridge the gap as Ryan Moeller left the game in the 6th. And Jose Valverde was not available. Good off-speed pitch makes it 2-2. Phillies held off the Mets 9-7. Mets got a run in the 8th, another one in the 9th. Pedro Martinez going to 2-0 for New York, beating Mordalis Perez. Or Oliver Perez, rather. He's 3-4. All right, Lidge got his 25th save. Marlins and Braves tied 5-5, bottom of the 8th in Atlanta.
I wonder how the New York faithful received Pedro.
That would be interesting to find out. Swing and a miss by Montero. He strikes out.
Again, the split finger pitch. And with Tim Burdack, the only lefty in the pen, Fulcino becomes kind of the default second lefty out there.
What's on Tap is brought to you by Bud Light, showing you the St. Louis series. Wandy and Adam Wainwright Tuesday night. Roy and Joel Pinheiro Wednesday night. Brian Moeller and Chris Carpenter Thursday. I thought there was a day game Thursday. Well, we'll check on that. And that's what's coming up from St. Louis. Rod Allen, or Brandon Allen, is ball 1. Allen is 1 for 3, an RBI single. It's a 1:15 start on Thursday, so that'll be 12:30 for Astros Live for Ryan Moeller and Chris Carpenter on Thursday from St. Louis.
They are having a lot of fun watching their son play.
They really are. Allen looks at ball 3, and it's 3-0 to Brandon.
Dad's up there. Give him the green light. Let him swing. Turn him loose.
Well, we saw a young lady with them last night, maybe his sister. Let's see her today. 3-1. They probably have a lot of demand for tickets this weekend. Foul back, and it's 3-2 now to Brandon.
So many good high school players in the greater Houston area. A bunch of them in the major leagues now. James Loney with the Dodgers. This kid appears to have a very bright future. All the pitchers, Cashmere.
Jeff Neiman, who went to Rice, has had a nice year with Tampa Bay. There's ball 4 to Brandon Allen. And Chris Young, who went to Bel Air, of course, as you had said earlier, is in the minor leagues, but he really started out well as a big leaguer.
Kyle Drabek is on the rise in the Philly organization. You know, Biggs just did that Aflac All-American High School game.
Yeah.
And there was a kid from the Woodlands playing in that one.
Okay.
I'm not sure how he pronounces his name. Where I come from, it's pronounced Kyle. It's Taillon. I'm going to say Talon or something.
Harrow's 0 for 2 with a walk. Strike one to him. Yankees and Red Sox tonight in Boston. That's been a wild series so far. It'll be 14 game winners. CC Sabathia and Josh Beckett tonight from Fenway. Allen takes off. There's a shot through behind Tejada, who broke to cover the base. And it's first and third as the Diamondbacks work it very well. Parra with a single. Tejada moving to his left. The ball was hit back the other way.
Beautifully executed hit and run play. Allen breaks. Tejada had coverage. And Parra shoots it right through that vacant hole. That's pretty.
Now first and third one out. Romero will be the batter. There's Lorenzo Bundy, the coach at first, talking it over with Parra. And now 11 hits for the D-backs. So they've come out of their slump today. It's really unnerving, though, if you come out of your slump, score 5 in the first, 1 in the second, and don't win the game. Ball one to Romero.
I'm talking about the Red Sox. Jonathan Papelbon with less than a ringing endorsement on the potential Billy Wagner trade to the Red Sox.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What has he done? Has he pitched this year? Is he ready to pitch, or is he not? I think our bullpen is good where we're at right now. He says, don't get me wrong. But I guess you could always make it better. It's kind of like the Gagne thing, I guess. Gagne went to the Sox in 07 and had a 6.75 ERA in 20 games. So Papelbon is not convinced that Wags can help them, apparently.
He's not up for a challenge. I would think any organization would welcome a guy. We don't know how Billy's throwing, but he's had good results so far. But he has the credentials of a Billy Wagner on the back end of the bullpen somewhere for a stretch drive or for postseason.
Man, I just don't know why a player would interject himself into that conversation. I think if you're Papelbon, you're better off just saying, hey, Billy Wagner, guy's had a great career. If he can help us, I'm all for it.
Well, he may be trying to stick up for his buddies in the bullpen, afraid that one of them will lose their job. There's a shot. Berkman. Tejada. Back to Berkman. Brilliant double play on a hard hit ball by Romero. And it's no runs a hit. And a man left. And Berkman says, wow, as the Astros keep the score at 6-4 D-backs.
you can guarantee your seats to all of the Astros games you want to see with the 10-game flex plan presented by Papa John's. With this plan, you can choose the 10 games that fit your schedule. Get all the details at Astros.com, guys.
Thanks, Patty. 6-4 ball game. Fans have enjoyed the 7th inning stretch. Now it's former Astro Juan Gutierrez. Tejada, Berkman, and Lee to face him in the home 7th inning. Tejada 1 for 3. He's back from ball 1 for the big right-hander, 26 years old, from the area of Puerto La Cruz, Venezuela. He's 3-3 with a 4.45 ERA.
Breaking ball to get things started. Had a good curveball. I remember that when he was with the Astros. And good velocity as well. Sink on that heater at 96. And Garland surviving in his last couple innings. The Astros put a lot of good swings on Garland. 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 home runs, 2 doubles in the final 2 innings. He's still in position to get this win. The bullpen can finish the Astros off.
Tejada foul. Stays in there at a 1-2 count. 6 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs allowed for Garland. With 1 walk, he struck out 4. He's in line for win number 7. Gutierrez has been scored on in 3 of his last 6 outings. Just a scoreless inning here Friday night. Gets a foul ball there. It's still 1-2. Gave up 2 hits, but no runs in the 1-0 Astros win Friday night. Got Tejada to ground into a double play after hits by Chris Coast and Darren Erstad. In Arizona, the Astros tagged him for 3 runs in 1 inning. Fielded by the second sacker. And Roberts turns it into out number 1. Lance Berkman, he had the RBI double to left center field in the 5th. He's 1 for 3. Turned into a ball game for these folks after the Astros trailed 6-0 as they came up in the bottom of the 5th inning. They got 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. Berkman part of that 5th inning frame. He scored on a Lee single after he drove in a run. 30,612 the paid attendance. Cleveland beat Seattle 6-1. Fausto Carmona going to 3-8 with a win. Felix Hernandez, he's 12-5. 2-0. Ken Griffey Jr. hit his 13th. Johnny Peralta, number 10 for the Tribe. Cardinals and Padres underway. No score. Top of the 2nd inning. John Smoltz versus Cesar Carrillo. Cubs 1, Dodgers 0 after 1.5 on a Jake Fox homer. His 9th.
I think that's the first run they've scored this weekend. Oh no, it was 2-1 game, the Wolf game.
Okay. Berkman's hitting .324 in August. Trying to stir it up here. But he doesn't see anything and takes the 1-out walk.
Well, that'll work when you're down a pair. You need traffic.
Second walk from Diamondback pitchers today. Gutierrez signed as a free agent with the Astros in 2000. Into the big leagues in 07 for 7 games. He, Chad Qualls, Chris Burke went to Arizona in the trade for Jose Valverde in December of 07. Carlos Lee drove in a run with a single to right. He's 1 for 3.
Qualls now the closer for the D-backs, having a solid, if not spectacular year. Things stay the same. I imagine we'll see Chad in the 9th.
Plum on deck. 0-2.
Gutierrez done a nice job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's allowed just 2 home runs this year in 55 innings.
Right-handed batters are hitting .225 against Gutierrez. Just broken off a couple to Carlos Lee here. One and 2 to El Caballo. Giants lead the Rockies 2-0 in the top of the 6th. Tim Lincecum has a no-hitter through 5.
We're going to handicap at the start of the season. Put odds on a no-hitter. And it's always it's very slim odds for any individual. But I have to put my money down on Lincecum.
Yeah. Fly ball behind second. Roberts is out. 2 outs. And now it's Jeff Blum. He's 0 for 3.
Coming up on no-hitter season, by the way.
September usually is, yeah.
More no-hitters in September than any other month. You know, you got some watered-down lineups for September call-ups. Got fatigued hitters.
Are the pitchers fatigued too?
Yeah, but pitchers kind of run. I guess hitters do too, but pitchers, it's cyclical. You go through peaks and valleys in the course of the season where you feel fresh and you get tired and then you pick it back up. You get back into the cooler weather sometimes in the Northeast. That favors pitchers.
Yeah, teams find that their home games are displaced by hurricanes. They go somewhere else to play home games. Run up against pitchers who have 10 days of rest.
Players have had 2 hours of rest and they're not sure if their house is still standing or not. Happens all the time.
Yeah, it's true. Little tap goes foul. Still no balls, 2 strikes. The Dyers whacked 2 homers for the Twins to give him 22. They lead 9-2 at Kansas City in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Nationals beat the Brewers 8-3. Greg Stammen going to 4-6, beating Manny Parra. He's 8-10. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jeff Blum.
Alcides Escobar hit his first major league home run for the Brewers today.
He's a good-looking player.
22-year-old shortstop, recently recalled by the Brewers as they send J.J. Hardy down.
Strike 3. Gutierrez ends the 7th inning with a strikeout of Blum looking, and it's 6-4 D-backs through 7.
experience featuring 100 auto-market games per week live on your computer and catch those you missed on demand. For more details, visit Astros.com, where baseball is always on.
Thanks, Patty. There's ball one. Augie Ojeda leading it off in the 8th inning, 6-4 D-backs. He had a 2-run single in that 5-run first inning. That's a strike. Angel Hernandez calls. It's a 1-1 count. Pitcher spot 2 up next, but the D-backs are getting ready to pinch hit for Juan Gutierrez. Looks like Mark Reynolds out to the on-deck circle. He's had the flu, but he's available to come up for one at bat. Into center field, right over second base. A hit for Augie Ojeda. And he's now 2 for 4 in this game.
Big aggressive turn at first base. Way to play the game.
They're going to use Dan Herron, a pitcher, to pinch hit.
He's going to come up and pinch bunt. Watch your lips. Chuck and duck. Herron was a real good hitter in college. So if he falls behind in the count, he could be swinging. Maybe swinging anyway. Who knows? But in all likelihood, he's up there to bunt.
Good numbers. 236 batting average. 1 homer, 8 runs batted in. Herron has 13 hits and 55 at bats. 6 sacrifice bunts.
Well, they worked that picture perfect hit and run play last inning. Again, I think the bunt's in order here, and he's likely going to try to drop a bunt down, but might be guessing first pitch fastball right down the middle. They might play a little hit and run.
And pops up the bunt, and it's out of reach of Quintero. Herron is 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter with an RBI this year. Jeff Fulcino in his second inning of work. He's pitcher number 4 for Houston. Chip Hale has the signs for Herron.
I wonder if he's got spikes on. Some kind of cleats on. Probably had him throw those on last inning.
Yeah. Puts the bunt down. Fulcino. And Matsui. And Herron moves Ojeda to second on the sacrifice. 1 out.
Because typically a starting pitcher is just going to be hanging out in the dugout with athletic shoes on, not baseball shoes.
Herron does well, and now it's Olchin. Olchin doubled to right field in the 6th inning. Almost hit it out. It hit right off the top of the fence. He's 1 for 4. Time called. No, they're going to call a balk. Looked like Fulcino thought time had been called, but then he stopped, and they call him for a balk. No, hit is at third.
I'm not sure what was going on there. I don't know if Olchin was asking for time and Jeff saw that. Angel's not ready. I'm set. That was Q. Q kind of dropped his right arm behind him. I don't know if he was asking for time, but something about that move threw Fulcino off.
Yeah, the infield has to come in.
Yeah.
Little comebacker. Fulcino gets his out. Out number 2. The infielders can drop back with 2 down for Roberts. Roberts is 3 for 4. Texas blank Tampa Bay 4-0. Scott Feldman, the winner, goes to 13-4. 7 innings of 4-hit shutout ball, striking out 11. It'll be David Price, who's 6-6. Strike to Roberts. Rodriguez was 1 for 2, drove in 2, and had a walk and a run scored in that game.
Whether it's Nolan Ryan, Mike Maddox, a combination of both, the turnaround in the Rangers pitching is just incredible.
Yeah. It is dramatic. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And it's just, you wouldn't use those words in tandem ever. Rangers and good pitching. Maybe not ever, but in the last decade or so.
You've got Natali Feliz in the bullpen, dealing. And Derek Holland in the rotation. 2 very young pitchers. And it's working for him. 1-2 for Fulchino. Boston led Texas by 2 in the wild card race before today's games. Red Sox playing tonight. Roberts is not biting. It's 2-2. Braves beat the Marlins 7-5. Peter Moylan won that one. He's 6-2, beating Kiko Calero. He's 2-2. Rafael Soriano got his 20th save. Into left field. That makes it 7-4 on an RBI single by Roberts, his 4th hit. A 2-out, 2-strike delivery by Roberts.
And as sharply as this ball is hit, and as close as left field is in this ballpark, without the balk, they might not score that run. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But obviously, quite easy to score from third base.
Big 6'11" John Rauch has been warming up in the bullpen. There's Chad Tracy, 1 for 3 with a walk. Ball 1. So Roberts has tied his career high with a 4th hit. Juan Gutierrez in 1 inning allowed no hits, no runs, had 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Ricky Romero in Toronto knocked off the Angels 8-3. Romero's now 11-5. Fouled away, and it's a 1-1 count.
Got our back to school kid here, Browning.
How is it?
An Astros notebook, a binder, and some pencils, and a ruler.
Notepad.
Book of matches.
Yeah. Matches? That's an eraser.
Oh, that's what that is. There it is. We're ready. We're going back to school.
All in brick red color. Very nice. Black trim. Foul back, and it's 1-2.
I was talking about my JD Autometer. I've got that up here, too. I can get a shot of that. During yesterday's game, I started giving some elaborate explanation as to the strategy of the Diamondbacks only about halfway through to realize I didn't have the outs right, and started backpedaling. So somebody made me this handy little JD Autometer. We've got 2 outs now. So we're good to go.
Runner going, and there's a line drive hit to right field behind the base runner, Roberts, who continues on to third. So the Diamondbacks are doing well with runners in motion today. Tracy is 2 for 4.
They don't hit the ball out of the ballpark very much, especially when Mark Reynolds is not in the lineup. So count on starting some runners, creating some movement that way. Jeff Fulchino here in his 2nd inning of work. His stuff has really flattened out on him. The slider and the splitter not very crisp. Coop is going to make a move to Tim Burdack.
Making another Burdack-Montero confrontation. They had one last night. 14 hits for the Diamondbacks. They lead the Astros 7-4 as a Dallas lead. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Tim Burdock comes in at 7-4. The Diamondbacks lead it in the 8th inning. He's 1-1 with a 3.13 ERA. He has runners at first and third and 2 outs.
Big double play ball off the bat of Miguel Montero last night.
That's Montero again. Montero 1 for 4 with an RBI. And ball 1.
Now, wasn't a double play ball, but just the third out of the inning. But nonetheless, obviously the Astros cannot afford to give up any more. They've only got 2 at bats left, down 3.
Montero takes. It's 2-0.
Got everybody double taking. Angel indicating to the Astros dugout that the ball was down. They're not buying it. A lot of times the umpire, when questioned from the other dugout, if he decides to respond, will just say the ball's in or the ball's out, because you can't tell from the dugout in and out. You can see high and low.
Strike makes it 3-1. You saw that good number for Arizona with men in scoring position, 7 for 14. They came into this game hitting .233 for the season with men in scoring position. Foul away. 3-2 now. Runner at first, Tracy will be moving. That's Berkman backing up to play behind him. There was an unassisted triple play that ended the Phillies' win over the Mets 9-7. That's ball 4, and the bases are loaded on a Montero walk. Eric Rutledge turned an unassisted triple play, 15th in Major League history. Only the 3rd time it ended a game. First 2 came more than 80 years ago by Glenn Wright of Pittsburgh in 1925 and Johnny Newton of Detroit in 1927.
I'll leave it to Bruntley, the heady player.
Brad Lidge getting a save with an unassisted triple play from Eric Bruntley. Wow.
Brandon Allen's family, as his son hits with the bases loaded.
Takes strike 1. He had the RBI single in the 2nd inning. 2 strikeouts and walk to go with that today. One ball, 1 strike to Brandon.
I'm conflicted, Brownie.
Are you?
Oh, I see his family up there, and I pull for the kid.
Yeah, absolutely. Good-looking family. They are into it, aren't they? Oh, that's way upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. It's nice to see the local guys come up and do well, but certainly nicer to see them do well against other clubs than the Astros.
We'll get the Giants.
Into the outfield, Matsui goes back into right center. And takes care of the 3rd out. Diamondbacks add to their lead with 1 run, 3 hits. The fans are ready to watch the Astros bat in the 8th inning against big right-hander John Roush, 6'11", 30 years old, tallest player in Major League history.
Well, Big John is working for the 57th time this year. 2-1, 3.78 ERA. He's been one of the more reliable setup guys in the league. That's 4 or 5 seasons.
Jason Michaels, who ripped a homer last time up, is 1 for 3. There's strike 1 for Roush. Jeff Fulcino in 1 2/3 innings allowed 4 hits, 1 run. He had 1 walk, 1 strikeout. 1-1 for Roush after a hitless, scoreless 7th inning for Gutierrez. Roush pitching for the 3rd time against the Astros this season. Foul ball by Michaels makes it 1-2. Roush pitched in the 1-0 Arizona loss Friday night with the hitless frame in the 8th.
Not a real hard thrower for such a big guy. Comes over the top with that fastball, gets it in on the right-handers pretty good. And work the slider in the other direction.
Roush started a couple of games against the Astros in 04 when he was a Montreal Expo. He beat Andy Pettit here in Houston. And pitched very well against Roger Clemens in Montreal, but had to leave with an injury. In fact, he had a no-hitter going for 4 2/3 innings.
Yeah, another game the Astros won late kind of started a real nice that run they had.
Yeah. And he was leading 4-0. Left with an oblique strain. That was in August of 04. Time he's faced the Astros. Michaels looks like he has something in his right eye. It's 2-2. Michaels is a .400 career hitter against John Roush. Roush leads all relievers in appearances since 2006 with 303. Michaels takes one in the dirt for ball 4. Or ball 3.
Yeah, Angel Hernandez is checking his indicator. He thinks it's ball 3. Scoreboard had 2-2 prior to the pitch. I think Jason thought he had a 3-1 count.
Angel saying it's 3-2. Come on back.
I can borrow my strikeometer if they want.
All right, we'll get that down to the guys around home plate then. It's that time of year, JD. Hard to keep tabs on the count, the outs, a lot of things.
That's probably how that triple play happened.
Yeah, could be. Roush gets a strikeout.
Weird day for J. Mike. Punches out 3 times, but also a solo home run in the 6th.
Yep.
That's a good slider Roush features. Roush last year with the Diamondbacks, not very good, a 6.56 ERA after coming over from the Nationals. But other than that, been awfully good.
Kazuo Matsui takes that one for ball 1. He's 1 for 3 compared to Quintero on deck. The Astros trailing by 3. They've been out hit 14-10. Diamondbacks have stranded 10. The Astros have left 7. Two balls, no strikes. So John Roush, a 3rd-round pick of the White Sox in '99. He was traded to Montreal for Carl Everett in 04. He was born in Louisville. Went to Moorhead State. Bounces that one. Looks down at his hand. It's 3-0. John was out all of the 01 season, and in 02 In 03, he was in the minor leagues. He was really down with a lot of different injuries. Right shoulder, surgery for torn labrum, impingement, inflammation, all those things hitting him before he got healthy. And then he really went to the mound a lot. 3-1, 85 games for Washington in 06, 88 in 07, 74 last year. 3-2. Shot to left field, headed for the corner. Matsui makes the turn to second. He's 2 for 4. Had some really good at bats last night and today.
Roush attacking Matsui. 3 consecutive fastballs away. This went up a little bit. Matsui gets to this one. He stings it to left field. The right man, the way Q's been swinging it today.
Yeah. There's a walk, a homer, and a double. Strike one.
Very greedy. Get out of your game plan. Make sure you get a strike. Those 3 home runs represent a career high in the season for Q.
There was 2 last year and 2 in 04 with San Diego. It's 1-1. And the home run he hit in the 5th inning gave him his 12th run batted in. That ties his career high. Had 12 last year and 168 at bats. There's Darren Erstad on deck. Pitcher spot due up next. One and 2 for Roush. Arizona got him in a trade for Emilio Bonifacio in the year last year. And gets it by Quintero for a strikeout. 2 outs now, and it's Erstad pinch hitting for Verdak.
Now, 4-seam fastball up in the zone is a big weapon for Roush. You can do off right at the start the at bat, which is where they come back to the finish. You see Montero coming out of his crouch. Roush makes a perfect pitch.
Erstad, a .220 hitter for this season, has 2 homers, 10 runs batted in. He has 11 pinch hits and 41 at bats. Montero talks it over with Roush. A little size differential there in the battery. Verdak 1/3 of an inning today. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts.
They need to reverse positions on the mound. Montero go to the top and let Roush go down a couple of steps.
That would do it.
Dude, you're killing my neck.
Erstad .220 for the season, but in his last 17 pinch hit appearances, 7 for 14, 3 walks, a homer, a double, a triple, and 3 runs batted in. Strike to Erstad.
Masonette with a pinch hit single back in the 5th. Came around to score. Hunter pinch hit in the 6th, grounded out the 3rd. Erstad gets a chance. That ball might have been low.
0-2 to Darren. He's a .371 career hitter against Arizona. Matsui the runner with 2 outs. Time's called by the catcher Montero. Michael Bourne's on deck. Roush strikes out the side. Matsui with a double stranded at second base. Moving to the 9th inning. It's 7-4 Arizona. by Budweiser. Fans coming through Union Station earlier to get to their seats, and now it's 7-4 as they've watched the day develop. They've seen the Diamondbacks lead 6-0. The Astros trailing by that score, got 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th. Now it's 7-4 with Sammy Hervasio coming in to pitch the 9th.
6 times Sammy has come on here for the Astros after being called up from Round Rock. 1-0, 169 ERA. Folks may remember slinging Sammy Baugh. Well, the Astros have slinging Sammy Hervasio. That's what he does. He slings it up there.
Gerardo Parra leads it off. Parra has a walk and a single in 4 trips. Now, Hervasio has an interesting way of starting. We'll watch him here. There's strike 1 for Sammy. Pitcher number 6 for Houston. Bourne, Tejada, and Berkman are due up in the bottom of the inning. It's 0-2 for Hervasio. Sammy came in to strike out Mark Reynolds last night, the only man he faced. His first major league win against Florida 4 days ago. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's averaging better than a strikeout per inning pitch down at Round Rock.
Michael Bourne backs on it in center, turns all the way around. 1 out. Alex Romero follows. Romero's 1 for 3 with a walk. That's strike 1 to him. 14 hits for the D-backs, 11 for the Astros. No errors in the game. Little bouncer heads up the middle. Matsui. Little Berkman. 2 down.
You see a guy with Hervasio's delivery, and you assume, well, he's going to be tough on righties the way he drops down like that. So the question is, how's he going to fare against lefties? And so far today, 2 up, 2 down. He's pretty good sink on that fastball. Chad Qualls getting ready for the 9th.
Will have at least a 3-run lead as he goes against Bourne, Tejada, and Berkman. Strike to Ojeda. There's a pair of hits. He drove in a couple with his first inning single. Diamondbacks got 5 runs on 5 hits in that first. Matsui in. Hervasio is a quick top of the 9th inning. Now it's Qualls against the Astros in the bottom of the 9th, 7-4 D-backs. record, 22 saves and 26 opportunities this season.
Chad has worked 49 in the third innings, and the strikeout walk ratio really impressive. 43 strikeouts, just 7 free passes allowed by Qualls. About 4 home runs and a .255 batting average, but a late inning reliever. Don't give up a lot of walks, keep the ball in the ballpark, you're usually going to find success.
He's converted 9 straight saves since the 4th of July. This is a career high for him in saves with 22. That ranks 12th in the league. 6th on the Diamondbacks single season list. And it's Michael Bourne to lead it off. He's 2 for 4.
The game plan hasn't changed much for Chad. Different role now, the closer with the D-backs, but still sinker sliders. Sinking fastballs to left-handed hitters. Not as many sliders as fastballs to righties. I think he felt like Angel just couldn't see that ball, so he's going to get a different one.
He's pitched 4 times in his career against the Astros. Has not allowed a run in 3 1/3 innings, giving up just 1 hit. Fouls it away. It's 1-1. One round from 1 inning. Allowed 1 hit, no runs, no walks. He struck out 3. Ball's a second-round pick of the Astros in 2000. Gutierrez and Burke went in that trade for Valverde. Chad went to Nevada, Reno. He's from Lomita, California. Foul ball makes it 1-2. He has really gone to the post often. In 05, 77 appearances, 79 innings. In 06, 81 appearances, 88 innings. In 07, 79 more games, 82 more innings. He did get 5 saves for the Astros in 07, but primarily he's been a setup man.
Stayed pretty injury-free, too, despite all that work.
Last year he had 9 saves and 17 opportunities, pitching 77 times. Born with a bouncer, fielded by Allen. 1 out in the 9th. Miguel Tejada's next. He's 1 for 4. Balls and Roush, 2 of the hardest working pitchers around. Balls leads the majors in appearances since 2005. Roush leads the majors in appearances since 2006. Tejada singled behind third in the 3rd inning. Berkman's on deck with a 3-run lead. Lined at the right field line. A hit. Heading into the corner. Tejada for second base. A double is 36th. He's 2 for 5.
Chad, like any sinker baller, when that pitch is up, it flattens out, becomes much more hittable. This one up. He'll be able to center it and drive it into the right field corner. And there's still a fighting chance here with Berkman and then Lee to follow.
Maybe tying Ramirez of Florida. Hanley with 36 doubles, 1 behind Pablo Sandoval of San Francisco. The league leader now. And that's another multi-hit game. His 49th for the league leader. Berkman with an RBI double and a walk. To left field. Parra back. That's off the wall. Tejada home to make it 7-5 on an RBI single by Berkman. 60 runs batted in, 2 of them today for Lance.
And that pitch up. Montero ought to have a chat with Qualls. Yeah, hey, pal, you better make an adjustment. Getting a little dicey. Pitch moving away from Lance, but not a whole lot of downward action. He whacks it off the wall. Tejada scores easily. We're one swing away from a tie ball game here. Possibly.
Carlos Lee could provide that swing. He's 1 for 4 with an RBI. Jeff Blum on deck. Strike one on the slider for Qualls. Pattern all day to Carlos. A lot of breaking balls over the outside corner. Two. He's the only Astro to have had a hit off Qualls since he was a Diamondback entering this series.
And he just had a pretty inconsistent zone today, but he's been consistent with Carlos up there. Just about everything's a strike.
Yeah. 1-2. Carlos has had a few remarks. Most of the time he's just taking those pitches. Diamondbacks trying to snap a 7-game losing streak, their longest since 06. It has not been easy for them after leading 6-0. And this one gets by Montero, sending Berkman to second. That takes the force for the double playoff.
So in the background there, Jose Valverde starting to get loose just in case. And Qualls a guy who typically gets a lot of ground balls, so the double play option no longer there for the D-backs. Chad, when he did go through rough patches with the Astros, a lot of times it was against right-handed hitters with the slider. The sinker was a pitch he was able to command for the most part, but every now and then his slider would hang on him. That's when he would give up the home runs. He's only allowed 4 this year, but 3 of the 4 have come to right-handed hitters. And my guess is they've been on helicopter sliders.
Grounded to third. Tracy looks Berkman back. 2 outs.
Slider didn't have real good action. Carlos hit it hard, but wasn't able to elevate it.
Now it's up to Jeff Blum. If the Astros are to remain alive with Jason Michaels on deck, he's 0 for 4. Strike one. Both got on top of that slider very nicely. Hits for Arizona, 13 for Houston. Blocked by Montero, and it's 1-1. Diamondbacks have 26 saves and 39 opportunities. Their entire bullpen. Ball's 22 for 26 himself. 1 ball and 2 strikes. These 2 teams meet again next weekend in the desert. A.J. Hinch just trying to get through this game before going on to San Francisco. Another foul ball keeps Blum alive. Andy Hervasio seeking cover. Sammy would love to be able to pitch the 10th inning. Valverde has been getting loose in the bullpen. Now Qualls coming in a little bit. There's a bug flying around in front of the mound, apparently.
Either that or he's hallucinating. One or the other.
Long started his swing, a pitch in the dirt. Montero will throw to first, and that strikeout will end this one. And the Diamondbacks snap their 7-game losing streak. Qualls